Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mindeman, an independent consultant with Close to My Heart, and I'm going to show you how to make this card with your scraps of pattern paper. If you're like me, you have a lot of scraps of paper laying around, maybe too much, so this is a way that you can use up some of those pattern papers. I have a card base here, which is 4 by 5.5, and by making my cards that size I can get 3 cards out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I take my 12 by 12 piece of paper, I cut off 1 inch on the one side, and then I flip it around and I cut them 4 inches and get 3 cards that way. So you have a card base, and then I have a card panel that we're going to use, the white panel that will go on top, and that is 3.5 by 5 inches, and then I have strips of pattern paper and some cardstock, colored cardstock here at 1/2 inch strips. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your panel paper and you're going to take your strip of paper here, and I have a Tombow, and you're just going to put your adhesive down at a diagonal across your paper, and then you're going to add your strip of paper down, so it will look something like this. You're going to continue doing that with your pattern paper, alternating with your pattern paper and your cardstock, just choosing what, I'm just trimming this here, but just choosing which papers you want to show off, and you're going to leave just a little bit of space between. I kind of just eyeball it. It's about 1/8 of an inch in between your papers, and then if you can see here what I'm doing, I'll take this other strip of paper and I'm going to kind of make it diagonal, so it's making a V there on your card base. So I'm going to do that all the way through, and that's going to take your most time. I'm going to trim this paper. This one's not exactly straight. Well, anyway. So, okay, so we can probably cut some of this out because everybody doesn't need to see all this time. But, so I'm just going to add, maybe we can speed it up too.
I can probably trim it later.
Okay, pattern paper in here to make that V shape. I just kind of eye it up, but I think I do about 4 strips. You can also do this technique with washi tape, which would be a great and quick card that you can make. And the nice thing about that is you don't have to use up all this adhesive or take a ton of time doing that with the adhesive. But it really doesn't take that much time with the pattern paper, and I do like to use it because I like to use up my pattern paper strips that I have this laying around. So I'm going to line this one up here. I'm just kind of finishing this off. Just lining it up right along there, and I'm going to just do one little more on the ends here. Add some yellow in there. And maybe I'll do another strip of this one over here. Okay, so right now this is not looking all that awesome, but this is about what you'll have here, and you've got all these little pieces of paper that are hanging out. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip your card base over and just trim those off of your card base just like this, and then you'll have even more scraps, so you'll be able to make another one like this. And I'm just going to trim it all up on all 3 sides. this side here. Some of the adhesive is sticking to my scissors. So then you have your card base just like this, and you've got your pattern paper that comes down and it all meets into a V. Now we're going to tuck our sentiment into the corner there, and I chose the Hello stamp from the dog stamp set. I'll put the link in my blog. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but. And then I'm just going to kind of stamp it on a diagonal here, so the hello is going to line up parallel with your pattern paper right in the V. And then I added this butterfly from our Happy Easter stamp set. I really like this stamp set because it's so much more than just Easter. There's a lot of fun spring and other cards you can make with it. Okay, we're going to stamp that around that way, centered there. And then I'm going to use a marker here, just a black marker, to make some dots, like a line, like a flight pattern for my butterfly. And that's it. Then you're going to use the adhesive and just run it right along your panel. You could also use 3D foam tape if you like, and on this card you can see I used a corner punch to just kind of round off that corner, so if you don't like all straight edges you could use a corner punch too to give it a little bit extra. And then you center this panel right onto your card base, and there you have it. Cute little pattern paper card using up your scraps, and you can send those to someone special just to say hello. Thank you for watching.